Last week, we recapped week 1 of the 2021 X-Men metal sales and established if the expected value could come close to the cost of a sealed case. Today, we're expanding our data into a second week, and we got a lot more transactions this week to crunch. So let's get started. What's up, YouTube? Card Boss here. We talk about everything cards, money, investing. Alright, let's go. So first, I'd like to point out that the initial pre-order prices for sealed cases of this product was around $1,200. Dave and Adams had pre-orders on the website last week for $3,300 a case, but it's now $3,500 for a sealed case and $300 for individual boxes. So it's going to be a taller ask today to see if the expected value will make up for the price increase. Again, we're looking at sales numbers for key inserts only in this set between the 28th of June to the 3rd of July. Few things to note here before we begin. Data is extracted from eBay sold listings using 130point.com. We are only going to cover inserts, and this will exclude the one-of-one sketches and all parallels such as the PMGs. Sales are only for individual cards, so lot sales won't count. Now let's get to the numbers. We start with geodes, which contributed a total sales of $3,783 this week, representing around 22% of the total sales for the week. 25 regular copies were sold, followed by 6 short prints and 2 single super short prints, which was the Wolverine for $650 and Storm for $300. Arkwell had 1,900 in sales for the week, represented by 31 regular and 9 short prints. The short print sales were mainly boosted by the Wolverine, which was sold for $523. Blast Furnace recorded close to $2,300 in sales this week on the back of 25 regular and 6 short prints. The 6 short prints average price was $233, with 5 of the short prints selling for above $200 and only Professor X going for just $51. The other inserts, Planet Metal, Palladium, Platinum Portraits, and Purely Periodic, total $8,926 in sales across 191 cards. Previous week's sales were $3,700 across 100 cards. One thing to note is that the 1 in 600 packs Platinum Portraits had 6 transactions this week, all in excess of $300 versus just a single Sabertooth last week for $300. Let's talk about some notable observations. This week's high ticket card is Wolverine Geodes for $650, but couldn't top last week's high of Magneto for $800. Platinum Portraits average is holding steady between $300 to $400 a pop, with Cyclops topping up at $400. This will not be the ceiling price for this insert, as we have yet to see sales for Deadpool, Magneto, and of course Wolverine. And finally, despite a 50 card checklist and an easy pull rate of 12 per case, Palladium average sales price are very close to those of regular versions for Arkwell and Blast Furnace, which has a tougher pull rate of an average of 3 per case each. I've seen some comments that the art on Palladium are generally better looking than its rare insert counterparts. Sales total are up to $16,900 this week versus $7,600 last week. But keep in mind, we only had 3 days of data then. Through the week, we have seen most of the inserts, with the exception of Platinum Portraits, which so far only has images of a quarter of the set that has been released. Once again, we tabulated the average sale per card across all the inserts here and multiplied them versus the per case odds. This week's total expected value, or EV, is $992, which is just a $36 drop from the $1,028 last week. We mentioned last week about covering the cost of a sealed case, which some of you purchased at $1,200. New cases are now $3,500, so meaning while the cost price for a sealed case has gone up by 6%, the EV has actually gone down by 3.5%. Of course, once again, this is solely based on inserts alone and doesn't count the PMGs or other parallels. But when I'm scouring over the average prices of PMGs, in general, they're still averaging close to only $50 a piece, with exceptions given to the main characters. As time continues, I would expect the EV to continue to slide, and the gap between a retail price of a sealed case and your EV will start to widen. In my opinion, there will still be significant interest in this set for the PMGs, but as my earlier comment, you really need to hit strong on your PMGs, as most of that 200 card set is yielding an average of $50 a card. I'll look at one more week's worth of data next week before we make some conclusions if this is truly an investable product. So if you guys like this video and found it very useful, do like and subscribe for more content in the future. I will be putting up similar videos, so do watch out for that. Thanks and have a great day.